The federal government there announcing that fire-affected businesses will receive up to $50,000 grants, while 10-year loans of up to $500,000 will also be available. The government is also injecting $3.5 million into a single contact point to speed up compensation claims. As for the impact of these bushfire-related announcements on the economy, well, the Treasurer refusing there to confirm whether the government will deliver a budget surplus this year. Let's bring in now our political editor, Andrew Clennell. Andrew, lots of topics there, very busy press conference. What do you make of it?
Well, the surplus line is very interesting, Danica, because they really did go to the election promising that. A reporter made clear to Josh Frydenberg, look, you have a back-in-black promise, and he and the BCA, Business Council, were there saying, well, this is an exceptional circumstance, we might not have that situation. Bear in mind, in the mid-year economic review, that promise went from $7 billion to $5 billion, so we were already seeing sort of tougher economic conditions see that estimate lowered. Let's hear what Josh Frydenberg said in the press conference about the surplus.
But our focus is not on the surplus per se. Our focus...
Where does, given you've outlined some challenges, do you think it's likely you will deliver a surplus or you won't?
Look, I'm not in a position to give a firm answer to that question because the full economic impact is still uncertain.
Now, when it comes to budget time, the funny thing is the government may very well get away with a small deficit because the headline numbers usually for the following year, and the following year is projected a bigger surplus. But there's no doubt that this has taken a real toll on the budget. And it's not just the $2 billion that the federal government is committing. It's the hit to tourism, to small business, and therefore to tax revenues. Because of the recovery effort. And Josh Frydenberg knows he's up against it in relation to that surplus. Also, of course, the Prime Minister tackled on the Bridget McKenzie scandal. He seemed to indicate for the first time that the Prime Minister's office might have had some knowledge of what was going on. He spoke about members can come and lobby a Prime Minister's office about these sorts of grants. I mean, we revealed earlier this afternoon that MPs had lobbied Federal Director Andrew Hurst with concerns about how long the grants were taking to be processed. One said to me he had concerns that the Nationals were administering it, they'd get more. These were marginal seat MPs. And the Prime Minister addressed this issue at the press conference. Let's listen to that.
Prime Minister, this morning you didn't rule out you or your office having any role in the approval or allocation of those sports grants. Will you do that now?
I think you've misrepresented what I've said this morning. What I've said is that the Prime Minister's office has always relayed on representations made to it by its members. That has been what every Prime Minister has always done in relation to any program. The Minister was the one making the decisions on those grants programs.
And the Prime Minister also gave quite a spirited defence of Bridget McKenzie's actions, digging in here, really indicating he's got no indication of letting her go over this, and he believes the government can ride out the scandal. The only other thing of note, Danica, in the press conference were his comments on climate change. He indicated he made a promise to Pacific Islands Forum that he would look to potential zero net emissions by 2050, but he said he'd be responsible about this. Look at the cost here. He'd differ from the Labor Party, and he didn't commit to that. So, yes, a very busy presser there, Danica.
Yeah, that was a lot of topics to cover. And Andrew, thank you so much. Appreciate your analysis on it.